Ready for a trip down memory lane? Welcome to Watch Mojo UK, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 signs you grew up in Britain. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're looking at the top things that people who grew up in Britain can best relate to, and are probably still influenced by. A healthy helping of nostalgia is on its way. Number 10, you want to shout bogies in public. And it all dates back to the ever-popular feature on CBBC's Dick and Dom in the Bungalow, where the show's presenters took it in turns to say bogies in a quiet but crowded place at ever-increasing volumes.
Bogies! That was a brave bogey. It's a 4.2.
Throw in the snotometer and some hilarious deadpan commentary, and bogies quickly became a kid's favourite pastime, copied in school playgrounds across the country.
McCourt extends his lead. Who is this man?
If Dick and Dom weren't your cup of tea, there was plenty more Saturday morning chaos to watch, including Going Live and SMTV Live, at which point we should really pause to remember the brilliance of Wonky Donkey.
What's that?
Chuckle.
Yes,
But bogies is the childhood game that's still on every adult's lips. Number 9, you still go to Clark's for your smart shoes.
Ooh, new shoes?
No matter where or when you went to school, odds are your parents drag you to Clark's when it was time to buy shoes for the new term. What better way to spend the last few days of the summer holidays, eh? There was always that thrill of getting your feet measured by the shop assistant though, and Clark's did try everything to make their shoes appear more interesting than they actually were, including pretending that their products were actually magic.
I can't climb. Yes, we can. Just trust your magic shoes.
And so, to this day, it's a first thought for lots of us whenever we need some new fancy but functional footwear. Even if we don't end up actually buying them from Clark's, that leathery smell of stylish Velcro and all-weather slip-ons will never get old.
Clark's, the only trainers in up to 4 with fittings.
Number 8, Horrible Histories taught you everything you know.
Some achieve greatness, others have greatness thrust upon them.
The makers of this much-loved CBBC sketch show achieved something truly remarkable. They managed to make learning about history enjoyable. But of course, Horrible Histories started off as a series of books, charting the history of, well, pretty much everything, with snarky humour, alliterative titles, and a seemingly inexhaustible supply of gags about bodily functions. The transition to TV retained the fun and the gruesomeness, and it added some seriously catchy tunes.
All say I'm the king who brought back partying.
But best of all, the entire franchise even managed to get its facts right, making it a better bet for learning history than any Hollywood movie, that's for sure. Number 7, you can't move house without quoting the Chuckle brothers. Barry and Paul Chuckle rose to comedy greatness in the 80s and 90s with their unique slapstick humour and classic collection of quotable catchphrases. And their most famous saying, "to me to you," is now brilliantly embedded in the British public consciousness.
Steady, steady. Okay, put it down. Steady, careful.
Because who hasn't tried to shift a sofa, position a table, or even hang a photo frame without at least once referencing the Chuckle brothers? The glorious gimmick even inspired the rapper Tinchy Stryder to write a charity single. Other TV catchphrases that people born in Britain invariably hear themselves saying include "but we don't want to give you that," a la Millionaire, and Blue Peter's "here's one I made earlier," from the days when owning a Blue Peter badge was every kid's dream. Number 6, you still miss Woolies.
Nip down to Woolworths and get some from their new worth it value range.
The British high street has changed a lot in recent times, but of all the shops we've loved and lost, surely Woolworths is the most missed. That place sold everything, from the latest magazines to stacks of CD singles and children's clothing that championed all kinds of questionable fashion choices. Whatever you needed, as the old slogan went, Woolies would have it.
There's always a saying that you could get into Woolies and you could get a needle or an anchor.
But the main attraction for kids and a fair few adults was undoubtedly the pick and mix, which sold an apparently endless supply of E-numbers in the form of cola bottles, cherry lips and flying saucers. In fact, these sweets were so popular, the final ever bag of Woolies pick and mix reportedly sold for a staggering $14.5 grand. Still a bargain though.
History will record that after 99 years of trading, it was the recession of 2008 which brought Woolies to its knees.
Number 5, half-finished football sticker books.
To mainly find footballers you've never heard of.
I don't know who these people are.
Need. Ooh, shiny. While sticker companies like Panini and Merlin claim that all football stickers were printed in equal numbers, yeah right, anyone who's ever tried to actually complete one of these things would suspect otherwise. despite blowing all your pocket money on sticker packs and desperately swapping your doubles with your mates, it just never quite happened. If football wasn't your thing, your social status was probably dictated instead by how many Pogs or Pokemon cards you owned. But whatever your collecting craze was, they're likely now in a loft somewhere, relics of the time you nearly achieved the holy grail of childhood, a complete collection, plushinis.
It's the #1 collectible card collecting phenomenon that's sweeping the nation, although admittedly not very fast.
Number 4, Mr Blobby still terrifies you. A British childhood served up more than its fair share of scary TV characters, whether it was Mr Nosybonk, the Demon Headmaster, or Wolf from Gladiators. And if you're one of the generation that watched Trapped, you spent many a moment worrying if the unsuccessful contestant really did end up getting locked in a tower for eternity.
Like all those before them, they'll be imprisoned at the top of the tower.
But perhaps the creepiest character and general premise of them all came via Noel's house party. Mr Blobby, with his googly eyes, frozen smile and distorted screechy voice, became the most unconventional of pop culture icons. And he was also truly the stuff of nightmares. Just ask Jack Whitehall.
He's actually at the door right now.
There he is. Oh my gosh. Was that...
Number 3, PVA glue still offers endless possibilities. Was there ever anything more excitingly versatile than a bottle of this stuff? And when you see the letters PVA, does your imagination not still go wild? Harking back to another iconic kids show, Art Attack, which also saw Neil Buchanan make giant collages in random fields, PVA glue featured so often in the series, you'd be forgiven for thinking half the world was held together by it.
You take some PVA glue and just identify all those edges that you want to join together.
Of course, our own artistic efforts were rarely quite as good as Neil's, but perhaps that's because we spend so much time accidentally getting glue on our fingers so that we could peel it off again. Hands up who still keeps a stash of this in the toolbox, because you just never know when you'll need to paper mache a balloon, or something. Number 2, you have original Harry Potter merch.
But Hagrid, how am I to pay for all this? I haven't any money.
It's hard to believe that there was ever a time when Harry Potter wasn't one of the biggest franchises in history. Nowadays, Potter merchandise includes everything from egg cups to lip balms, all neatly emblazoned with a super stylized brand that'll keep the wizarding world running for years to come. But a few of us were lucky enough to board the Hogwarts Express before the rest of the world jumped on.
Second-year students can create a perfect potion with the Polyjuice Potion Maker.
First editions of Book 1 are now worth tens of thousands of pounds, but even original figurines, trinkets and board games, the sort sporting old school illustrations and lots of purple, could earn you a tidy little deposit for your personal Gringotts account. But are Potterheads ever likely to sell?
You must be joking.
Number 1, you yearn for proper packed lunches. These days, most schools insist that packed lunches contain only healthy treats, but that wasn't always the case. Roll back the years a few, and the closest we came to our 5-a-day was a carton of Umbongo. Froobs, Push Pops and Billy Bear Ham were what the kids of Britain grew up on, and as everyone knows, cheese tastes so much better when it's shaped into string, right? When we weren't eating snacks for lunch, we were probably down at the tuck shop buying Monster Munch and penny sweets that really did cost a penny.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Or carefully carrying our Cadbury's mini rolls in those specially designed storage cases.
Well... We gotta stop him! We gotta stop him!
Give in to your inner child.
Mine.
Now, as a grown-up, whatever you make yourself for lunch, it'll never live up to a dip dab and a Capri-Sun. It's a simple fact of adult life. Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo UK and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.